It's just been confirmed that Logan Paul will be suing CoffeeZilla for defamation over his expose for the whole CryptoZoo scam that took place around a year ago. Now, in case you've been living under a rock for the past God knows how long, this is probably the biggest drama to come out of the internet in recent times, but CoffeeZilla posted this video investigating Logan Paul's biggest scam, and it was all about CryptoZoo. We're going to play the start of the video because it kind of gives you a bit of depth into the whole idea of CryptoZoo, but in case you don't know, CryptoZoo was supposed to be Logan Paul's game that he designed and created in order to get players to buy eggs, which were the equivalent of cryptocurrency. They would evolve a little bit like a Pokemon game, and then you'd be able to sell those characters on or creatures on for cryptocurrency. And it was a crypto game. It was supposed to be huge. It became a big thing, and people invested money into it in order to be able to get the game early or to be able to support the game's development, in which they would buy eggs, and they bought those eggs, but the game never came to pass. It never came to be. It was never bought. It never came out. So those people who invested money into it were like, where's our money? We've invested in this. You've told us to invest in this. Where is it? And then all of a sudden, poof, Logan Paul falls off the map and he doesn't talk about it anymore. And then he came out to state that he would be refunding the people at 10%. And people are obviously like, hell no. So CoffeeZilla responded and was like, nah. And this was his response.
CryptoZoo.co. I am so excited about this project. It's so fun. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
A fun game that earns you money. How much did you guys make from CryptoZoo?
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
So this is CoffeeZilla, of course, talking to the victims of CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
I lost around $15,000 US.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000.
$500,000 Australian, which is $500,000 in CryptoZoo.
Shut up! No, you haven't.
Yeah, 500K.
Oh no.
Today, we're investigating Logan Paul's CryptoZoo, a blockchain game that made millions but never worked. Some of you guys think you know the story, but it goes so much deeper. I've uncovered sociopaths, billionaires, fake orphans. Did I mention fake orphans? And of course, at the center of it, we have Logan Paul himself, who has abandoned this thing, leaving thousands of fake orphans in his wake. Wait a second. Thousands of victims in his wake. Now, you'll be hearing from some of those people because their stories are heartbreaking. This is the first in a 3-part series that's been a year in the making. And if you like high-effort investigations like this one, please consider supporting this channel on Patreon. I don't take sponsors. We are viewer-supported. So if you want to and are able to, thank you.
Now, bear in mind, that is something that comes back to be used against CoffeeZilla is his Patreon. Using his Patreon to try and boost up numbers. And apparently, because this was so high topic, Logan Paul has come out to say that he only created his Patreon for the purpose of this video because he knew it would do big numbers and it was the best opportunity. But this goes all the way back to 2022, which was a year prior. So his Patreon was created a year prior to this whole scandal coming about and this kind of being created.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project. We have a massive team behind it and are probably out of pocket like $1 million just because we believe it's going to work. September 1st, CryptoZoo.co.
We don't scam. I've never scammed anyone before. Logan cares extremely deeply about his audience, loves his brand, doesn't have to scam to make money.
Well, that aged like milk. So, yeah, that's kind of a rundown on that whole entire video. I'm going to leave a link to CoffeeZilla's entire video because I'm not going to go over it. But if you do want to check that out, go down below. But in a recently deleted video, Logan Paul actually responded to CoffeeZilla. Now, the response, like I say, was deleted, but of course the internet is this magical place where everyone records and screenshots everything. And, yeah, someone screen recorded it and re-uploaded it. So this was the initial response video from Logan Paul that since got deleted.
series called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam, and like many on this platform, you have successfully used my name for views and money. While your work used to be impartial, your addiction to clicks has clouded your judgment and you've made very real errors with very real repercussions. Coffee, you took a shot at my reputation, so in this video today, I'm gonna be defending myself with facts, something that you have gotten in the habit of twisting as you continue to morph from an investigator to a gossip channel. You see, CryptoZilla tried to work with law enforcement in the past, but his work was described as not anchored to truth and often speculative. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, and he's nothing more than the Keemstar of crypto and finance. But as opposed to just telling you, I'm gonna show you some of the core discrepancies that I caught in CryptoZilla's investigation. Coffee, you interviewed the developer who stole the game code, fled to Switzerland, and held it hostage for $1 million. Well, his name is Zach Kelling. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies, one for aggravated robbery, armed robbery at a liquor store, and the other for, surprise, obstructing the legal process. I can see why you kept him anonymous.
Who we'll be calling Z here.
I guess among many things, it doesn't surprise me that he lied about having 30 engineers and a $50,000 a week burn rate.
On my end, I have 30 engineers. I'm burning $50,000 a week.
Which, side note, is how this delusionist landed on the $1 million code ransom, but it turns out he only had 3 engineers. Wouldn't someone with journalistic integrity know their credible source had not only an agenda, but a fondness for orange jumpsuits? Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear and moved on? Because even if you're lying to yourself, Steven, you still have to believe it. And I know where
he threw out the first name. That's when you know someone means business.
you're thinking, what type of idiot would work with an unsavory individual like Zach Kelling? I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional con man that I have since learned fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and now me. And surely you knew Emilio, the gentleman who supposedly let his child invest in a cryptocurrency, was allegedly responsible for 2 rug pulls before you interviewed him. So either you missed that or you knew it and failed to let the public know. Why? Because it was a clear sign that he was also untrustworthy. You seemed pretty excited when the guy told you that he couldn't hatch the eggs.
Wait, you can't even hatch?
No, I'm telling you, it's just a picture.
You're kidding! You can't hatch?
You're kidding. You can't hatch?
You can't hatch?
Yeah, 1 second of research would prove that to be false, as you can definitely hatch eggs and even breed your animals.
Click on that. Oh, we got a duck.
And as you pointed out in your fine print, cross-hatching was available on ETH at one point, but you perpetuated the opposite as truth with your chest out.
Basically, nothing worked.
And by the way, Guy, almost all NFTs are just pictures.
I'm telling you, it's just a picture.
And surely a real internet detective would not break criminal and civil laws in trying to get information, right? So why have you allowed the illegal recording of Jeff's phone call without his permission? And then, more like an internet criminal, post it online.
And it was interesting. It was like, this is wild.
Now, although you didn't verify any backgrounds, substantiate any evidence, took multiple criminals' words as truth, and broke laws, you still published the defamation. However, unlike you, the blockchain doesn't lie. So let's highlight some things that you did point out. Crypto King Jake stole $6 million. True or not, we had already removed him from the team when we realized he was a bad actor and his motives were purely financial. Conman Eddie, lead developer, stole $1.7 million. True or not, when we learned he was a bad actor as well, he was immediately removed from the team. While myself and Jeff sold nothing and made nothing, as verified through investigation and the blockchain.
Jeff, Logan's manager, to my knowledge, never sold. Neither did Logan Paul.
I repeat, Jeff and I made no money and will never make any money on CryptoZoo. In fact, we only lost money trying to pick up the pieces. As has been the case with dozens of crypto and NFT projects, the space is unfortunately ripe for bad actors to infiltrate projects that start with even the best intentions. Jake the Snake is no longer affiliated with CryptoZoo, and we hope the money he reappropriated was worth ruining his reputation. Conman Eddie is being investigated by a higher authority that I cannot speak on. As you can imagine, I was not cleared from legal to discuss much of this, including the legal process being undertaken and the criminal investigations going on during the fallout, but I do appreciate you calling out that rats under my nose stole the game code, millions of dollars, and left Jeff and I abandoned with no team and knives in our back. But even after 12 months of work, you've still managed to overlook one crucial piece of information. See, even though I've said it's coming so many times, you've assumed that CryptoZoo isn't being made. Who are you to decide when the development timeline ends? I got every everything stolen from me and our community, stopped promoting publicly as soon as I knew the extent of the internal issues, took all of the heat on social, and you still published a defamatory hit piece fully knowing I was innocent just so you could enrich yourself in your $10 million studio. Sharp, but deeply unethical, dangerously misleading, and illegal. I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it.
And that's where I'm going to leave that off, because obviously that was one of the responses. But later on down the line, Logan Paul did kind of settle down, and you know, he that was obviously a heated, off-the-cuff reaction in which he, you know, he was very upset, to say the least. I mean, it's not great when CoffeeZilla turns around and says to you, you know, and does this hit piece, because it is influential, it is powerful, it speaks volumes. But over on his, I think his Instagram page, he posted a story or a reel where he actually said thank you to CoffeeZilla and apologized for his brash actions. Take a listen to this.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego, flair, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone with this project. I never made any money, never sold any tokens, and I only had the best intentions going in. But the fact is that suing CoffeeZilla is not going to help CryptoZoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me. You guys mean the world to me, so I'd like to announce my 3-step plan moving forward. Step 1, Jeff and I are going to burn our Zoo tokens so we have no financial upside in the game, and it will add value to holder tokens. Step 2, we want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed in the status of the game. So essentially you're going to be able to burn your base egg or your base animal for the mint price, which was 0.1 ETH or the equivalent in BNB. I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million right now for players who want to get out. And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper by completing the egg bridge from ETH to BSC for base animals and base eggs, completing the marketplace, and obviously completing the releasing your animals into the wild to accrue your yield function. To say I am disappointed in how this was handled internally is an understatement. There's a full internal investigation going on along with an audit, and we are going to pursue full legal action for whomever needs to be held accountable. If any money is recovered in the process, it'll go right to the community. My sole obligation is to my supporters, and I know this video is long overdue. Here it is. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for how this has unfolded thus far, and I want people to know that they can trust me and that I'll always take care of the fans and people who support me. I appreciate your guys' patience while we do our internal investigation, and I promise to be transparent and disclose any information we find out in the process. And lastly, thank you, CoffeeZilla. You have catalyzed this, and I am very grateful for your work and your investigation, and I mean that. Thank you, bro.
So, that's where he ends it off, right? And everyone's like, wow, okay, this is a Logan Paul that I can back. This is someone that's clearly, you know, wants to support their fans, wants to support the people. He's investing his own money, burning his eggs, you know, to be able to drive up the price of other people so they can at least get something back. But it never happened. It never happened. Logan Paul completely left the whole thing. CoffeeZilla then turned around and said, well, where is it? And the internet was like, well, where is it? And obviously within that video, Logan Paul stated that he wouldn't be suing CoffeeZilla because it wouldn't be beneficial to the shareholders of CryptoZoo. Well, we've just hit a full 180 as Logan Paul sues CoffeeZilla for defamation over CryptoZoo videos. Logan Paul claims YouTuber Steven Finderson, also known as CoffeeZilla, maliciously and repeatedly made false statements about this NFT project CryptoZoo. Influencer Logan Paul filed a defamation lawsuit on June 27th against Steven, better known as CoffeeZilla, on YouTube over videos he produced about the Paul's failed CryptoZoo non-refundable, fungible token NFT project in 2022. The suit filed in a San Antonio, Texas district court claimed Finderson maliciously and repeatedly published false statements accusing Paul of operating a scam and a connection with a trouble blockchain corporate project called CryptoZoo. And as we can see here, this was obviously part of the video, 3-part documentary. Paul brings his defamation suit to the finders and accountable for his actions and to hold him liable for the immense harm that he's caused to Paul's reputation through the intentional and reckless dissemination, can't get that word out, come on, dissemination, there we go, got it out, and of defamatory falsehoods, according to the filing. Starting in late 2022, CoffeeZilla released a YouTube videos on CryptoZoo calling it Logan Paul's biggest scam and accusing the influencer of defrauding his fans by keeping the money of NFT holders without delivering the rest as he promised the project. But Paul claims that CoffeeZilla purposely omitted information in his videos that proved Paul was deeply committed to CryptoZoo's success and was deceived by several of the project's trusted advisors who turned out to be conmen, the filing adds. Finderson knew full well that Paul never set out to scam anybody, but to the contrary, had always intended to build a legitimate blockchain-based game. So Paul instead puts the blame onto the project Eduardo Ibanez, who he says turned out to be a charlatan, who lied about his credentials, and Jake Greenbaum, an advisor, who was more interested in trying to get personal profit than in helping to create a legitimate project. Cointelegraph contacted Ibanez and Greenbaum for comment. Finderson could not find immediately be reached for comment. So Logan Paul once dropped defamation threats against CoffeeZilla. So this was obviously what we were talking about before. So Paul said that he considered suing him in late 2022, but later stood down to focus on trying to make things right with $1.5 million recovery plan for CryptoZoo. Of course, that's what we've just spoken about within the apology video. He was later left disappointed when his efforts failed to materialize and spent $1 million to buy back the NFTs between January and March, despite not having earned any of the money from the project whatsoever. The suit said Paul is seeking damages in excess of $75,000 plus interest and lawyer fees, along with additional damages and relief as determined by the court. CryptoZoo, first rolled out in 2021, was meant to be a game where players buy NFT eggs using the game token Zoo. The eggs would hatch into animals that can be then bred to create hybrid animals that can be traded to earn players more Zoo tokens depending on their rarity. So penguin plus shark equals penguin sharks, rarity super rare, yield $18,000 Zoo dollars, alright, per day. So obviously that was a little image, and then the idea was you could sell those tokens on and make real life money because you could trade the cryptocurrency for real life dosh. So the Zoo token is effectively down 100%, with a market capitalization of 0 and 1 cent in volume of past day according to CoinMarketCap. That is ropey, of course. So obviously that basically means that if anyone has a Zoo dollar, let's call it a Zoo token, Zoo dollar, before they could be traded for, you know, X amount, but now they can only be traded for between 0 and 1 cent. Which means it's practically worthless. So anyone who has invested, obviously we saw in the CoffeeZilla video, $500,000, they're not making any money back, and it doesn't look like they are likely to make any money back. But CoffeeZilla is, from what I saw earlier, yet to respond to Logan Paul, talking about the lawsuit, the defamation, all the rest of it. Sued by Logan Paul. Let's have a little look. So right now we've got nothing. It's just other people talking about it. So yeah, CoffeeZilla is yet to talk about it. So I'm sure that'll probably be a tactical legal move that his lawyers have put in place, saying like, look, you're in the midst of a defamation case. Like, you know, if it goes further, anything you say would be used against you. So let's just keep it quiet for now. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see if he truly means it this time, and if he does, then we'll play it by ear. But what do you guys think of this whole scandal? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you're new. Tick my little bells to get notified whenever we upload to the channel. And until next time, I'll speak to you guys later. Peace.